was mentioned earlier, but there's a number of interstate guests here who've travelled from New South Wales and the ACT and Tassie. And thank you so very much for taking the time to travel up here to join us today. And Matthew and Rowan, we truly welcome you to our family. You've both been a wonderful blessing to all of us, and we love you both dearly. It does our hearts good to see such a beautiful family unit that you've become together as you raise your boys. Kelsey, we three are very proud of you and the woman you've become. You have been an absolute pleasure to raise. Poppy Mac and Grandad Wecker, we're sure are here in spirit and would also be so very proud of you. Kelsey Bear, I'm really blessed to be your mama bear. I admire the human being that you are. You're beautiful, intelligent, caring, loving, strong, funny, sassy, and you have tenacity, courage and guts. They're things to be really admired. I'm really proud that you're a strong woman. I remember when in high school, when one of your friends was experiencing some family difficulties and you asked if you could take extra food for lunches as they didn't have any food at home, and then helping arrange for us to take some grocery parcels to help the family, and then you linking your friend up with some support through the chaplaincy at school. You've got this beautiful heart that cares, and that's why you're a teacher, because you want to make a difference with people, and we're really proud of that. We're also really so very proud of you graduating as a high school teacher and your passion for your profession, even when you bitch about it. And being awarded runner-up for Gold Coast Educator of the Year is a testimony to your hard work as an educator. Runner-up. So this is some stuff that Mark wanted to share with you as well. He said, Kelsey, I'm really glad that I was the one to give you your very first driving lesson. Driving a manual four-wheel drive near Iluka, on the beach, in the soft sand, and with an audience of myself and Chloe. After a couple of stalls, you nailed it and you drove us out of the soft sand and along the beach. And that was on a stick. It wasn't automatic. We've had some really fun times together. Remember camping at Palmer's Island near Yamba and having the mud fight through the campground, and then you and Chloe pelting Mark with mud once you'd finished throwing it at each other. And there were people in the caravan park were going, they've gone this way, they've gone that way. It was really funny. Or the time in Wanaka in New Zealand where you both made a big stash of snowballs while I was having a hot shower and then hammering me with them when I stepped out of the shower block. And that same evening you also built a beautiful, anatomically correct snow woman with breasts and a lovely leaf set in the correct place for the map of Tassie. Your snow woman was far better than those backpackers' snowman. Thank you for being so supportive to Mark, or this is from Mark, but thank you for being so supportive to me as I work through some really difficult life events. I love and appreciate you so much for that, Kels.
It's interesting having a family who have passed away, and my dad was able to meet Kelsey for almost 3 years. And as Tracy said, there are quite a number of people who would love to be here but aren't. And all of us are very proud of the people who've come. So to each and every one of you who've become friends with this young lady. We certainly appreciate your friendship of who she is and what she does. Thank you, each one of you, for taking the time out of your busy lives to come and spend this day. That's a wonderful thing. We hope you have some good memories. Kels, when parents say, wait until you have kids, you don't realise until you hold your child in your arms the depth of love that a parent has for a child and the almost overwhelming sense of wonder and joy that brings. You have brought us so much joy. And then to be offered by Tracy, go and see if Kelsey would like somebody to help her survive living in her house. And then met Matthew. And I now have the honour and privilege of spending time with them as they parent Theodore and Rowan, and grandparents is even more because we can give them back. On the night that you were born, I'd been up visiting Mum at the hospital and then headed home. After I left, the nursing staff did their evening obs on Mum, and as her blood pressure was through the roof, the doctor decided it was time for you to be brought earthside. So 3 weeks early, I got to go and sit with Tracy at the top of, at her head while they did a caesarean, emergency Caesar, and saw this gorgeous lady, or young girl, and the doctor got the legs where they test the hips, bloomin' heck, ripped off the side of the leg. So, but anyway, that's why I bought you sprinkles, because my ice cream melted by the time I got home. How inconsiderate of you. Now, Matthew, I've already said this part of the story about where I saw you the first time. I'm very happy that you are there with Kelsey, and together you have become an amazing couple who support one another through all sorts of times, and you have a brilliant family. Mark, Tracy and I love seeing how you cherish and love our girl. It's delightful watching you two banter and interact on so many different levels, even Scrabble and Blinken trivia, seeing you with mutual passions you share together and with your boys. Thank you, Kels, for choosing Matthew. And Matthew, thank you for choosing Kelsey and for your boys. Tracy, Mark and I could not be more appreciative and love you. We know they will grow to become amazing human beings like yourselves because you will parent them with love, compassion, joy and boundaries. We can truly say we're so proud of you because through your life, you've experienced some tough life decisions and events, but have worked through them with grace, love and compassion. One special thing, when Kelsey was in kindy, one of her best friends was killed by his mother. And we thought that she'd gotten over that, but in year 7 graduation, Tracy and I standing next to one another, not talking, because we'd separated by then. But we both look at one another and hear our tears in our eyes because she said the one thing that stood out for her for primary school was this young boy. And he couldn't spend time with her and she couldn't spend time with him. She has such a heart, and that's not from either of us, I don't think, or any of us. We could share so many stories of your humour, your sassiness, your compassion and love, your willingness to walk through a slum in Nepal and see how it changed you to be a better human. Watching you grow up has been such a privilege. Kelsey, Mum, Mark and I have loved raising you as a team together. Thank you. Now, let's check the sheet. Best man, Danny and Brandon, you two have to come here in a fairly straight line as much as you can. Now, watch that thing, because that's the video.
Hello. Thanks for having us, guys. I don't really know what to say, but as someone who has known Matt for a while, I just think this relationship for him has been very important, and I can just see the love that he has for Kelsey, and obviously we've we hung out, Matt, Brandon and us, and then, Kelsey has just seamlessly fitted in to like us, It wasn't a challenge or anything, and I really think, it's nice to have her here. Yeah. At your own wedding, yeah, it was great, Yeah, I appreciate you for coming. I just think, you two are very much in love, and it was nice that you allowed me and Brandon to be part of that. So yeah, thank you very much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to start off my speech by saying this wasn't me. This was Danny. He tried to be the first best man of Matt's friends, so he tried to destroy my outfit, and it was definitely him. But you know what? I do have to say I've known Danny first, and then he introduced me to Matt. And Matt, although he's English, and invited the one brown man to be the token brown guy at your wedding for equality. I still respect him as a human. All right? But no, honestly, he's the most genuine bloke you meet. He's fantastic. Best dad. I aspire to everything that this guy does when it comes to the fatherhood. He exemplifies everything, like, the leadership, the nurturing, the love, fantastic. He's just a great bloke. Yeah, he's a great bloke. Yeah, handsome as shit too. Kelsey is, even though she's a ginger, she does have a soul. I can confirm gingers have a soul after all this. She's great. And honestly, if she can put up with Matt, she's a great fix. So I think it fits fantastically. And she puts up with me and Danny, who likes to throw food at people. Sorry guys, we're doing this off the cuff. But yeah, honestly, you guys are fantastic, and I aspire to, everything you guys are. Kelsey taking on board like Rowan and Theo, of course. There's so much going on, and poise. And just fantasticness. Cut me off. Someone just cut me off. Yeah, congratulations. All right. Love you both. You're beautiful. Thank you very much. Great mustache, Danny.
I shaved my moustache off.
It's nice to finally be invited to one of Matt's weddings.
The brown guy wasn't welcome in England. They're a little bit on over there. Cut me off, Colin. Colin, save me.
Good grief, now I'm thinking about it. I would like to invite the bridesmaids and bridesman up for their joint speech. So everybody make sure you got a drink. There's about 100 of them. Oh, give them one clap as they come up. Ready, set, one. Thank you. Who's got the mic first?
I decided I'm not standing behind that. I'm 5 foot. Kelsey, I'm honoured to be part of your and Matthew's Forever Day today. From the moment you started working at Pimpama, we clicked. I'm so glad, don't start crying. I'm so glad I have your kind and caring soul in my life. I have many crazy and fun memories with you and some photographic evidence of the back of my car. And maybe too many to actually pick from or mention right now. But I wish you and Matthew all the best as you enter the next stage of your life together. You've committed to this now.
Marriage!
Come on, keep going.
Marriage!
Is what?
Today! Marriage, the blessed arrangement. One. Come on. One. Two. One. We will follow you forever. So treasure your love. Amen.
Amen.
And I meant to follow that. Kelsey, I've known you for over 15 years now. We've had so many moments together, and to choose one was tricky, but I feel this best represents you. When Amber and I had just started dating, we were having an evening at my place on blue curacao and vodka. It was a fun night, and we were thinking maybe we should have invited more people to come over. The problem was, when we were thinking of this, it had already reached 10:30 at night. While I was racking my head about who would come over that late at night, Amber was already on the phone to Kelsey. It took her 40 minutes to drive to my house at 10:30 at night, but she came. And we had an absolute blast until Amber fell asleep about 10 minutes later. Kelsey, you have the biggest heart and have always been one of the most reliable people in my life, and someone I've been able to trust and depend on again and again. You will always look out for everyone else and will drop everything for anyone at a moment's notice. I'm glad that you now have someone that adores and cares after you in the same way. Please raise your glasses to Kelsey and Matthew.
Kelsey, so we have known each other for, how old are we? 16, no. Yeah. Okay, 16 years. And over those years, I feel like we've been through a lot and we've seen a lot.
Of each other.
What happens at band camp stays at band camp. But over those 3 years, I feel like I've seen like you blossom into the person that you are today. And I feel like after high school, a lot of friendships just drop off and kind of die. But I feel like we're just consistent in our friendship, and I really appreciate that for you. I'm going to keep this short and sweet like you, so thanks. Love you.
Okay, we learnt today that 2020 brought Kelsey and Matthew a lot of things, but I feel as though 2020 stole something from me because Kelsey and I had to cancel a trip that would have included Vegas. And we had a plan, I don't even think many people knew about this, where we were actually going to get married in Vegas just for the shits and giggles, and then explain to our partners when we got home that we needed to get a quickie divorce. So today, Matthew, I'm giving you my wife because she would have been my wife first. So, Matthew, look after her because that's my wifey, and if you hurt her...
Okay. So, I met Kelsey in 2020 when I started working at Pimpama, and when she first came in as the student advisor of Year 10s, I thought, oh my God, she's so stressed. Why is she so angry? She needs to calm down. And I did not think that I would get along with her at all until I figured out that she was equally as sassy as me, and that we could get along with that, and that her hate for pickles was my love. So she was the yin to my yang. We quickly became very, very close, and I learned that she has, as we've all said, a heart of gold, and that we're all just so happy that you found someone that's just going to take care of you. We love you.
Save the day, Dad!
I'm not wearing the same colour as you guys. I can't. Man. Now, there are drinks being handed out. Let me warn you, this could bring back many memories if you're over 40. I think it came out of a flask. So hands up if you know what a flask or a carton is. A goon sack, yes. Who lives in Logan? Who lives in Penrith, Parramatta? Is Kelsey coming?
She's the new one after. Has everyone got a drink? That's loud. Bloody hell. Has everyone got a drink? Perfect. No, we're not ready? Okay, we'll wait. No. Naturally. Naturally.
Sorry about the beer.
It's just genetics. Pretty much. Wait for everyone. Everyone wait for him to get a drink. Okay, I think everyone's got a drink now, so I'll just bore you with my speech. There's been several speeches now, so I hope you have all been paying close attention because, as mentioned, the bride is a teacher, so there will be a test at the end. And I will also skip to the next part of my speech because, unfortunately, I was going to do the quote from The Princess Bride. But someone's gone ahead and done it first, so I know, gosh, right. So I'll just skip straight ahead and just say my spectacularly stunning bride and I wish to just thank you all for joining us here to share in our big day. I know there are a significant number of you who have travelled a fair distance, some even from the faraway land of Tasmania. So we wish to express how touched we are by the effort undertaken for you all to be here. Speaking of those in attendance, I would like to give a big shout out to the small group of close friends who could be here, as well as all my family back home in England who, as mentioned earlier, due to a variety of reasons, were unable to make the long, incredibly expensive flight over. I know they are all very sad that they could not be with us here today and to welcome you, Kelsey, into our family. And I know their thoughts are with us and that they will be very excited to finally meet you when we make it back over to Blighty, especially my father, who pesters me tirelessly to bring you home. To everyone in the bridal party, thank you for agreeing to take part in our big day. The bridesmaids for keeping Kelsey from straying too far into insanity and giving her a wonderful hens party. To my best men for mercifully not roasting me like a Sunday lunch in your own speech. You had the opportunity to land some solid blows, but you passed it up like the baiters you are. But all good, all good. I've got the mic now, buddy. Honestly, though, you've all been utterly invaluable in bringing this together, and we generally couldn't have done any of this without you. But of course, this brings us to the grand architect of it all, the adorably meticulous organizational autocrat who wields her carefully color-coded planner like a sword, my radiant bride, Kelsey. Kelsey. Actually, I'm going to share with you a little tale. I know we've touched on it a few times this evening in other people's speeches, but I want to run you through our origin story, if you will, back to the genesis of us. As you know, in any relationship, the flame of love, of course, needs the first spark. In our case, as any Boy Scout will tell you, our flame would never have caught alight without some tinder. It was 2020, and like so many others during the first year of the pandemic, our little dalliance began with a fortuitous pairing on Tinder, a match which almost fell apart due to someone who shall remain nameless being in charge of Kelsey's phone at the time and replying to my naturally charming conversational opener with a gif of a confused Britney Spears. Thankfully, after assuming I blew my chances, the actual Kelsey replied, and we began messaging non-stop for the next week or so. Eventually, it began time to meet. Now, this was, as mentioned, the early days of COVID. Lockdown had begun, restaurants were closed, and bars were shut. Great for me, because I was broke at the time, and was more or less living on Devon ham sandwiches. But this also made it a bit tricky to have a proper date. Originally, I offered to host Kelsey. I was living in the spare room of the lovely Mark and Vanessa's house at the time, waiting to move into my new place on the Wednesday. Great, I thought. Move in, unpack, then knock together a slap-up meal for two. Simple. Simple, until the place I was moving into pushed back the moving date by a week. Fearing this change in plans to be taken as an attempt to skip out on her, assuming we'd simply change our date for until after I'd moved, Kelsey thankfully suggested we could have the date at her house. I would still cook, of course. Now, I didn't drive, as mentioned, and because of the aforementioned lockdown, public transport was running only for essential travel. So there I was, as Colin mentioned in his speech, a bloody warm day, dressed up fancily in a nice tweed jacket, not a trench coat. Bloody hell. I know, right? Sweating my knackers off after catching 2 buses and a train for a journey of 2 hours, which wasn't strictly within the bounds of essential. Of course, we had set the date for 3 p.m, so I'd gotten up at about 6 a.m. and was ready to go at 7. Naturally, due to the complexities of my travel, I also arrived at Kelsey's front door a good 40 minutes early. I was keen. What could I say? Now, Kelsey, from the moment I first clapped eyes upon you, after a very dramatic garage door reveal, you have never ceased taking my breath away. Be it from a glittering flash of your sapphire eyes, your adorably cheeky smile, or for trying to strangle me again from breaking into a rendition of Modern Major General. You melt my heart, you turn my spine into jelly, and leave my knees weaker than your aptitude for Mario Kart. I know it wasn't easy, I know it hasn't always been easy, beyond having to share your house with a guy again. When you accepted me into your heart, you also took the leap of accepting little Rowan into your life. He loves you so much, and you've been incredible with him from day one, even after the time he smeared fecal matter on the walls. And now we have our little Theodorable baby boy, who is simply as perfect as his mother. You have taken to motherhood like a duck to spring rolls. Theodore... Finally, a laugh. Theodore is lucky to have you. Theodore is lucky to have you. I am lucky to have you. You are everything to us, and I cannot adequately articulate how gosh darn happy I am I now get to call you my wife. I love you so much, with all my heart, beyond comprehension. So if I can all ask you to raise a toast to my utterly gorgeous wife, to Kelsey. I think that's done for speeches.
I thought Kelsey was going to say something. Kelsey? Actually, since she's taken so long because she's wearing that dress, which is not champagne, it's quartz. Oh, I got it right. Theodore has the best name in the world. Guess what his middle name is? Colin.
Everyone else kind of stole my thunder a little bit today as well, but I'm going to repeat them anyway. Not quite. I'd just like to thank everyone as Matthew and my parents have done so, but with some pretty specific people. Firstly, my parents for their ongoing support, not just with this wedding, but all of the swings and roundabouts my life has had. I love all three of you, and couldn't have asked for anyone better. Emily, my maid of honour, you wrangled my obnoxiously large bridal party into a lovely bridal shower and a perfect hens night. Thank you for your wisdom, your ear, and your friendship over the past 16 years. Kurt, who has flown all the way from Darwin. Chris, who came all the way from Rockhampton. My family, who have travelled from Tassie, Canberra, and different parts of New South Wales. Bianca, for her fabulous work as our chocolate girl, and coming all the way from the sunny coast with Aiden. Jake, who made the trip back here from Tara, somewhere out west a while away. Danny and Brandon, for their support of Matthew both before I met him and in the upcoming time for the wedding. My bridesmaids and bridesmen, my obnoxiously large bridal party. You all look lovely and I couldn't have picked a better bunch. Thank you for making my day the beautiful day it was. And lastly, Matthew, my husband. Thank you for giving me the day I dreamt of, for giving me your love, your support, and your level head when I'm losing mine. I can't wait for the rest of our married life. So can everyone raise their glass to Matthew, please?
Would you believe I get paid to do public speaking? It intrigues me, the number of teachers who go, I'm not talking to adults. They're not that much different from grade 1. But I am cute. Actually, I do want to say thank you to you all again, and it's wonderful to see the people who I've not seen since they were young kids and then become amazing parents and grandparents or children. So I do want to say thank you to Tracy's mum for being here and the matriarch of a beautiful, beautiful family. Thank you for that. We're almost at the end. I did want to sing the Greek national anthem. It has 159 verses. They asked the Olympics to play it and they had to form a committee. And besides, I can't speak Greek. Not even close, I'm German. And apparently Vikings didn't wear horned helmets. Okay, where are we up to now? Oh, they need to go and dance. Their first bridal dance together. Or are they going to dance? Get up on the floor.